It was a dark, cold night when I found myself on the long, winding highway. I'd just finished a late shift at the office, and the drive home should have been a quiet one just like every other night. The road was desolate, with only my headlights cutting through the thick darkness that seemed to press in from every direction. The gas gauge in my car was hovering dangerously close to empty, and I was starting to get anxious. I knew there was a gas station about 10 miles up the road, one I stopped at every time I drove this way. It was a small, rundown place with a single light overhead and a single pump. You couldn't miss it. I've always trusted it, and it had never failed me until that night. I was growing more impatient, my eyes darting between the road and the fuel gauge when I finally saw the dim light of the station in the distance. A sense of relief washed over me. I took the next exit, knowing I could finally fill up and get home. But as I turned off the highway, the sight in front of me froze my blood. The gas station was gone. Where the station had always been, there was nothing. No lights, no pumps, not even the faded sign that once hung over the entrance. Just an empty stretch of road that seemed to disappear into the blackness. I hit the brakes hard, my heart racing. Maybe I had missed it. Maybe I had taken the wrong exit. I backed up, retracing my steps, thinking maybe I was just imagining things. But as I neared the spot where the station had always been, the same empty stretch of road greeted me. There was nothing there, no gas station, no sign of anything at all. It was as if it had never existed. I glanced at my phone, thinking maybe it had something to do with GPS, but there was no signal. I was alone, completely disconnected from the world. I tried to calm myself, telling myself it was just a trick of the mind, that maybe I was too tired to think straight. But the deeper I drove into that empty stretch, the more surreal everything felt. I pulled over to the side of the road, hoping to gather my thoughts. My car was nearly out of gas, and I needed a plan. I couldn't just keep driving aimlessly. There was a small, weathered sign further down the road, almost hidden by overgrown bushes. It seemed out of place. I stopped the car and walked toward it. The sign was barely readable, with most of the letters faded away. The part I could make out read, "Exit 32, no return." Chilled, I turned back toward my car. I didn't want to venture any further. The air around me felt heavy, as if something was pressing in from every angle, suffocating me. I couldn't explain it, but I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. With a shaky breath, I got back in the car, determined to find another way out. I decided to turn around, to go back to the highway. But as I turned the wheel, my headlights flickered, casting strange shadows across the road. I quickly checked the fuel gauge. Nothing had changed. But somehow, the road ahead seemed longer, darker. It was then that I heard it. A low, distant rumble, like the sound of an engine. At first, I thought it was a car approaching, but the noise kept growing louder, and then nothing. Silence, absolute silence. I drove faster now, my hands gripping the wheel tighter. The headlights were almost useless, flickering like they were struggling to stay on. I kept glancing into the rearview mirror, but there was nothing behind me, nothing following. Eventually, I reached the exit again, the one that should have led me back to the highway. But when I turned, the road ahead seemed unfamiliar. This wasn't the route I had taken before. In fact, it looked nothing like the highway at all. The trees were different, the signs, if there were any, were not familiar. I slammed on the brakes, my pulse was racing, and my mind was spinning. This couldn't be happening. The gas station, the exit, the strange sign, all of it didn't make sense. I checked the time on my phone, but it was completely dead now. No service, no signal. It felt like I had stepped into some alternate reality, one where the rules of the road and time didn't apply. Just when I thought I couldn't take any more, I saw it, a figure standing by the side of the road. I couldn't make out the details, but something about the figure seemed wrong. It didn't move. It was just there, staring into the abyss. One had to get out of there. I didn't care if I ran out of gas. I couldn't stay on this road any longer. I turned the car around one last time, but as I did, I saw it, the gas station. It was there again, right where it should have been all along. I couldn't explain it. I didn't want to. I just drove straight past it, not daring to look back. It didn't matter anymore. All that mattered was getting home. But as I glanced into my rearview mirror, I saw the gas station fading away as if it had never been there at all. I never took that road again.